thousands of the souls, making many strategies, many plannings, uh, how to how to fulfill the desire of Srila Prabhupada to take this moment 10,000 years. So, uh, very visionary, very, very expert, very spiritually mature, and leading everybody, all of us together. So, we have very less time, but still he has given us this 1 hour very mercifully. Let's welcome loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sundar Gopal Prabhu ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Over.
हरे कृष्ण। कहाँ तक डिस्कशन किया था हमने? Can anyone tell me?
I think it's only you know, Prabhuji. It's okay. Yeah.
We'll start discussing here.
Yes, sir.
Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Sakshurunmilitananda Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mansakalptarvasya Kripasindhuvasya Pattanam Pavanam Vishnu Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Samute Tividam Shanti Namaste Saraswati Varvani Pacharani Vishesha Shimai Pasha Vistari Panchakalptarvasya Kripasindhuvasya Pattanam Pavanam Vishnu Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we were discussing about dealings with the senior Vaishnavas, and in that category, now we are discussing the Guru Godbrothers. So how to? This is the one of the biggest problem in ISKCON as of today, that there is so much Guru Groupism, and people think that my Guru Maharaj is the best, and they become sometimes Guru fanatic, and in the process they don't respect other spiritual masters. And we have also seen devotees pulling each others so that they can make others get initiated from their spiritual master, by hook or by crook, so that the number increases, and in the process they may criticize other spiritual master also, that he is like that, my Guru Maharaj is best, other Guru Maharaj, of course he is also okay, best, but not as great as my spiritual master. Yeah, that Maharaj is also advanced devotee, but still my Guru Maharaj is best. So this kind of mentality, we have seen very dangerous mentality. And then we see such fanatic disciples, after their spiritual master leaves, they also leave the movement. They go back in Maya. Because they have only learned to relate with their spiritual master. So we have to understand the Guru Tattva properly. There is no point saying that my Guru Maharaj is very dear to me. You know, there is nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we should love. But at the same time, we should also be very, very careful to understand and very mature to see my spiritual master in other spiritual masters also. Just like a devotee is super soul in everyone's heart. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that wherever I look, I see the deity of my heart, that is Krishna. So you can see everywhere how Krishna, my spiritual master, is teaching through this devotee. You know, may not be his spiritual master, not be directly, but wherever Bhagavatam has spoken, we are sitting in class, you can think, my Guru Maharaj may be trying to teach me something through this speaker. Hmm? Let me hear from him attentively. I may find some useful things for my spiritual life. Not having that kind of, at least, okay, not every devotee, but at least the Guru's God brothers, you know, they are also to be respected as much as our own spiritual master. So this is the principle we should learn. Although we talk, we know so much, we know all these things, but when it comes to the practical ground, hardly we see devotees practicing it. No? So Srila Prabhupada said, His Holiness Sadananda Swami, my German God brother, may come to see you. When he comes, you offer him respect by going down as you do unto me. My dear Jagannatham Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. I am so glad to receive your letter dated 10th February 1970, redirected from my New York center. Perhaps you are the eldest amongst us now, living as disciple of Srila Prabhupada. You are now 81 years old and I am only 74. Therefore, I am your younger brother and I shall always expect blessings from you. So Srila Prabhupada, you see, he is so humble. Hmm? And he's saying that I'm your younger brother and I expect your blessings. Hmm? At such an advanced stage, at the age of 74, also Srila Prabhupada is younger brother, isn't it? So this is the mood what we have to have about Guru's God brother. How my Guru loves his God brother so much. Dealings with senior Vaishnavas. Now we'll discuss devotees senior in age. Not, of course, one is like Guru's God brother. Another kind of senior devotee can be those devotees who are senior in age. So how to deal with them? Those who are senior in age, how to deal with them? So here, how Srila Prabhupada is observing this etiquette with a Grihastha devotee. No? Although Srila Prabhupada was a sannyasi, because of his senior age, Srila Prabhupada is offering special respect to him. No? So last paragraph thing, what we discuss here, that here the Prabhupada is writing letter to his God brother, who was senior in age, 81-year-old, and Prabhupada is only 74. But like I can see some bhajan here. I can hear some bhajan.
Sanatan,
Nice to hear
Mataji, please mute.
some bhajan. It's nice to hear bhajan, but it shouldn't disturb the class. Yeah. So I was just discussing that Srila Prabhupada is sannyasi and his god brother is Grihastha. And ideally Grihastha should respect sannyasis. But here, because God brother is Grihastha, but he is older than Srila Prabhupada in age. Therefore, he respects. So we should respect if someone, our God brother is older in age, may not be very highly spiritually advanced, but just because his age is higher, we should offer respect. So that is another consideration. We should never instruct another person in the presence of our Guru or senior Vaishnava without first receiving their permission. So this I think we have discussed already. We should never instruct another person in the presence of our Guru or senior Vaishnava without first receiving their permission. And we gave example Uddhava Vaje Paramahansa, who had full knowledge and capacity to answer all of the questions of Vidura. Because Maitreya, who was senior to Uddhava, was present, Uddhava sent Vidura to Maitreya to inquire from him. So some senior devotee is there present, then we should not be very enthusiastic to lead in the presence of senior devotees. Someone is senior Vaishnava is present, then we should request him, that Prabhu, can you lead? Like you say, Prem Dhani, prayer sometime chant. Then if some senior devotee is there, first we should respect him, request him that kindly you chant. Or if we are leading Kirtan and some senior Vaishnavas are there, we should request them to lead. Or if we are giving class, some senior Vaishnavas, Prabhu, can you give class? Like that. So, or if someone is asking some questions to you and at the same time you see there is some senior devotee present there, then as a matter of etiquette, we ask, Prabhuji, can you answer, can you answer this question? This is better than, Prabhuji can explain better. He is my senior God brother, senior devotee. Prabhuji can kindly answer the question. This kind of etiquette, although nowadays people think that these all things are irrelevant. इतना ज्यादा क्यों ये सब करने का, सीनियर जूनियर इतना ज्यादा आज के समय में सब बराबर. मॉडर्न थॉट ही कहता है, let us treat everyone equal, we all are friends. We all are equals. Those who are more talented, doesn't matter whether they are young, they should be sent forward. And we should not consider who is old in age. Sukadeva Goswami was younger in age, still he was in the Vyasasana. So sometimes we see this aspect also. But Sukadeva Goswami was not very enthusiastic, but he was requested by everyone to speak. Therefore he started speaking. But first, like he was there and then everyone together decided that he should speak. So first he thought that if others can speak, that is best. But then others also together, no, you speak. And senior devotees also, like they should be mature enough. Sometimes we see that some senior devotees, when some junior asks, Prabhuji, can can you speak? Then senior devotees, also minimizes the position of his junior, and he says, junior is full number one. You all should always only get connected to me. Then the junior feels that what kind of senior devotee he is. So senior also has to be very mature, not just because we are senior, we can do anything. So we should be senior by our behavior, our dealings. Our dealings, our behavior should be so mature that juniors feel inspired also. Suppose some junior devotee, they brought their, their, devotee under them to the senior devotee. that Prabhuji, Maharajji, or Mataji, please, give him blessing, guide him. And then you guided in such a way that that devotee became against his, his facilitator or counselor. The next time that facilitator counselor will not bring his devotee to you. So that maturity senior devotee should have, that how to uh, guide the juniors so that they should not end up fight with their immediate um, immediate facilitator or immediate senior devotee. So in our society we see this kind of immaturity a lot. And once some junior comes and he introduces his people to senior, then senior what he does is that he guides them in such a way that they become against their the preacher who is preaching. Or even we have seen, sometimes devotee is very fanatic about guru also. That if some preacher is preaching him since last 5, 6 years, or maybe 10 years even, 6, 7 years, he's giving his time, his energy, his effort, and he's guiding him with his experience and knowledge. And then one day the devotee gets initiated, from the spiritual master. And from that day he becomes so fanatic about the spiritual master, and that he completely neglects his, preacher who is preaching him since last 7, 6, 7 years. And he thinks that, now he has become very close to his spiritual master, and he doesn't give value to his immediate authorities, other Vaishnavas, temple presidents, and all these people. This is called immaturity in Krishna consciousness. So we should not become so much fanatic. Then what happens? Envy gets created. Envy. So those people, they have guided you, they will feel envious. To whom? To your spiritual master. You are creating the envy in the heart of others towards your spiritual master by your behavior. Because they will think that this fellow, the moment Maharaj initiated him, he forgot me. So from next time what they will do? They will not allow their people to meet with Maharaj or get initiated with that Maharaj, which, uh, who by if the disciple after initiation behaves like that. So its disciples' responsibility is, temple president will not give recommendation to get initiated from that kind of a spiritual master. He will not feel inspired to give, because he said the moment they get initiated from this spiritual master, they stop coming to the temple, they stop their services in the temple, and they become fully dedicated. All the money and resources and they send to their spiritual master, start sending to their spiritual master. So the president thinks, what is the benefit of getting them initiated to other spiritual master? They are acting so immaturely. So that's what called dealing with senior Vaishnavas. If we neglect our other Vaishnavas and become Guru fanatic, then what happens? Other Vaishnavas develops enviousness, can come. And we are the one who will be responsible to create that envy. So even this, see, there are three things: senior Vaishnavas, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So you cannot just become Guru fanatic and ignore Sadhu and Shastra. No. So we as a devotee has to become mature devotees. Mature devotees, that we love our spiritual master, but the etiquettes must be followed. And what etiquette says? Etiquette says that we should respect other senior Vaishnavas equally and not disrespect them. And the spiritual master duty is also to teach his disciple not to become loyal to only him, but to all other senior devotees, you know, and that's how the harmony, that is the principle of harmony, synergy, you know, principle of synergy, principles of harmony works. Otherwise, fanaticism comes in Krishna consciousness. So here says that it is very important. It is considered amongst Vaishnavas to be false pride if one volunteers to instruct another person in the presence of senior Vaishnava, even if you know the answer. See, I have highlighted the point, even if you know the answer. Even if you know the answer, we should not speak. Let senior speak. No? So these all culture supports love, supports relationship, supports feeling, like that. Like suppose that's how like the senior devotees, they feel very, very, very happy that this devotee is very mature if we act like this. Writing or speaking, yeah, that also we have discussed earlier. This is a matter of etiquette. If a previous acharya has already written about something, there is no need to repeat it for personal sense gratification or to outdo the previous acharya. Unless there is some definite improvement, one should not repeat. Now the question is that suppose if somebody doesn't follow all these things, what will happen? What is the problem if I don't follow all these things? So much detail of behavior, dealings, and isn't it so complicated? So many things we need to take care. It's very, very important. Because if you don't follow the etiquettes, code of conduct, there will be a lot of misunderstanding, there will be a lot of miscommunications, there will be a lot of uh, you know wrong perceptions, and relationship will be spoiled. And although we preach love, but there will not be any love. Love means dealings, etiquettes. How careful are we, when we follow the etiquettes? You know? And the Vaishnavas are supposed to be very humble. We should not think that I can speak better than my senior. I can do something better than my senior. I am more intelligent than my senior devotee. You may be more intelligent. You may be. But that should not reflect who is more intelligent than Krishna. Who is more intelligent than Krishna? But what Krishna is doing? He is holding the shoes of Nand Maharaj on his head. Is it because of intelligence of Nanda Maharaj? No. So more intelligence is not important. Doing big, big things, doing a lot of, sometimes devotee, I can do better preaching than my senior. But what is the goal of your preaching? By your behavior, you are outdoing your senior, and the senior is crying, that this fellow, he is neglecting me, he has become so advanced, and he doesn't care for me now. So what are you going to achieve? Is this what are we going to preach? We are spreading love, and somebody is crying, somebody is unhappy with our preaching. Then what is the use of that preaching? So we have to be very, very careful. Even when we are preaching, sometimes we become so passionate in preaching and we ignore the etiquettes. So we may make many devotees. Suppose I made thousands of devotees by disrespecting my senior, by outdoing my senior. Then all those people whom we are making devotee, tomorrow they will also disrespect me and they will also outdo me, because that's what they are getting in culture. That's what are we We are not just breaking the etiquette, but we are breaking the culture. And the same culture, tomorrow when we become senior, our juniors will also start behaving the same way with us. Like, see, when we are young, husband and wife, we see sometime young, young age, the son and daughter-in-law, they disrespect their father-in-law and mother-in-law. They don't care for them, isn't it? And then their baby is watching. And tomorrow the baby also will do same with you. Same kind of behavior with you. Because evam parampara praptam imam rajarsayo vidu sakale nehmata yoga nashta parantapa. You are not just preaching, but you are passing in parampara something. So be very careful. Because yadacharti srestha tam tam evetaro jana sat pramanam kurute lokastadanuvartate. What you do to today, the same will be done to you in future. So we are not just increasing the number, but we are increasing the quality of love, quality of relationship. And quality of love and relationship entirely depends on our dealings. And we are so fortunate that our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, has such a deep sense of relationship. Nothing will satisfy the heart. We may have thousands of followers, big riches, big things, big degrees, big portfolios, big post position. But that is not what is going to satisfy the heart. What is going to satisfy the heart is when there are people who genuinely love us from their heart. And how many of them are there? And for the temporary success, if we ignore the eternal principles, we are going to be the loser in long run. This growth will not be a sustainable growth, and the objective will not be achieved. For what are we all doing this? It's so that we can be happy and in love with each other, keeping Krishna in the center. That is our goal. And we, unfortunately, I don't know, all of you can share your heart also today. I would like all of you to hear from all of you also. How many of you feel that in our society, we ignore relationship, we don't value people when it comes to success? We want success, not the people. Sometimes we don't care for the people's sentiment because we see some temporary gain. Temporary, we are going to gain something, and therefore we break the culture. Modern culture is what? Western culture is what? Now I was hearing one boy was saying to me, अरे इतना क्यों रिलेशनशिप को लेके चलने का है? इतना रिलेशनशिप, उतना झगड़ा है, उतना ज्यादा टेंशन, न रहेगा रिलेशनशिप ना होगा टेंशन, शादी मत करो, नो कमिटमेंट. All these things that now going on, people are living relationship, जिस दिन नहीं पटेगा छोड़ देंगे. This is all because there is no relationship. Relationship is not easy things, difficult. There is no doubt about that, because it requires us to become humble, tolerant. Without humility, without tolerance, there is no relationship. Relationship also cannot be one-sided. So you all can share your realization. Sometimes you have seen people ignore us, for some temporary gain. Sometimes we see preachers, they snatch each other's people, each other devotee. One preacher is preaching, and another preacher is also preaching, and one preacher talks to another preacher's boys, or maybe devotee, and convinces him that leave this fellow and come to my group, comes to my spiritual master, come to my temple, my. This happens, isn't it? This is insensitive behavior. And then what happens when that devotee comes to know that this fellow has done like this to me, then he will always have that grudge. This fellow, he took away my devotee of my group, devotee of my spiritual master. And therefore, this fellow is cunning, he's cheating. Although he is wearing the garb of a devotee, he's wearing dhoti kurta tilak, but his behavior is like this. He is stealing my devotees. He's a thief and wearing the garb of a devotee. They will think like that, isn't it? Or some senior devotee. You must be having some junior. If sometimes your juniors, when they become little senior, then they don't care for you. They don't listen you, and they show their skills, their knowledge in front of you. जिसको आपने खुद नॉलेज सिखाया एक दिन, वही आपको नॉलेज दिखा रहा है. आपने नॉलेज सिखाया, अब वो आपको नॉलेज दिखा रहा है कि हाउ ग्रेट आई हैव बिकम नाउ. So how do you feel? Usually one should feel very happy. कहते हैं कि जब बच्चा जो है बड़ा इंसान बन जाता है तो माता पिता को बहुत खुशी होती है, isn't it? But sometimes it doesn't happen also. If the child doesn't care for the parents, doesn't care for the senior people, then that they become little upset. So this etiquette is so important. Doesn't matter how big we become. More as big we become, that is small we should become. If we grow more and more, we need to be more and more humble, equally humble also, to balance that growth. And that is very, very difficult. Growing is easy. Of course, that is also not easy. Growing is difficult, but more difficult than growing is to grow and still remain humble. Still remain humble. Sometimes we see people when they are preaching, they're the leaders, they are always around with their juniors. They spend most of their time with their juniors. They don't spend time with the seniors, with equals. Hardly they sit with the equals. They go on an island where they are there with their juniors, their group. And then what happens? Juniors will always praise you. Equals will guard you. And the seniors will care for you. Juniors will always take away your spiritual benefits, which is spiritual strength. From seniors, you get spiritual strength. From equal, you get support. They will not let you fall down. So this combination of all three types of relationship is very, very important. But if there is imbalance means that if we spend too much time with our juniors, and if you neglect the association of equals and seniors, then what will happen? It's an imbalanced growth, and that will not sustain for long. And even if it sustains, there will not be any juice. There will not be any juice because you are always being praised. The ego will go so high. And then what will happen? Your juniors are watching you. that you doesn't get along well with your equals, your seniors. You do not spend time with your equals, your seniors. You are alone with your juniors. Then tomorrow what is going to happen? Your juniors also will not sit with you. They will sit with their junior. And you will also be left alone one day. You know, that's what happens. They will also not sit with equals. Like you see the parents sometimes, the children when they grow, in the beginning, I have seen many small babies, even if you try to catch them, they go in the lap of their parents. No, 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 I will not come in. And they go in and they go and hide in the lap of their parents. माता पिता की गोद में जाके दुबक जाते हैं, है ना. लेकिन जैसे जैसे वो बड़े होते जाते हैं, माता पिता गोद में लेने का प्रयास भी करते हैं तो भाग जाते हैं. है ना. And then after that, after some time they grow, then what happens? Then even forget to remember their parents. And after some time, you know, they don't sit at all. And even the brothers in the childhood, you see both brothers, sisters, they all are babies and they spend so much time with each other. Practically, they cannot live with it when they go alone. They remember each other childhood, but when they grow, what happens? They don't sit with each other. They fight with each other for property, for small things. And what parents feel? Parents feel unbearable pain when they see their children, the baby children are fighting. Now, when they are grown up, they are fighting with it. They are not ready to sit together. अगर वो रहेगा तो मैं नहीं रहूंगा, है ना. या तो वो रहेगा या मैं रहूंगा. आप डिसाइड करो आपको किसके साथ रहना है. What do parents feel? Just think. They feel unbearable pain. It doesn't matter how great we are, but that pain is there. So similarly, in the devotee life also, we have to learn to get trained. When we all are together, the success gives pleasure. Otherwise, you may have success, but no one is with you. You are alone. Today, you may have 10 followers, but tomorrow, though, they will also have followers and they will leave you. And then when you ask them, oh, why you all are behaving like that? You should be with your senior equals and you will also give class like me. That I am giving. That how important it is to sit with seniors and equals. So then they will say, आपका जो समय था तो हमने आपको देखा था कि कितना आप टाइम बिताते थे सीनियर इक्वल्स के साथ, है ना. आप जब बिना सीनियर के सिचुएशन के आप इतना कुछ कर सकते हैं तो हम क्यों नहीं कर सकते. We can also be happy. So you see how this whole culture, we are preaching culture, we are preaching behavior, not philosophy. And these etiquette, these principles, ये जो चीजें हम आपको शेयर कर रहे हैं, they are living principle, living Bhagavat. There is a book Bhagavat and there is a living Bhagavat. So we don't have to preach book Bhagavat, we have to preach living Bhagavat. And these etiquettes are nothing but living Bhagavat. If we practice this etiquette, then only we are preaching Bhagavat through our behavior, our dealing. Otherwise, we preach philosophy and no behavior. Then people down the line also, they will preach philosophy and they will not practice that in the behavior. And that will flow in the parampara. Preaching will flow in the parampara, but not the behavior. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that आचार प्रचार, कोई आचार करता है पर प्रचार नहीं करता, कोई प्रचार करता है पर आचार नहीं करता, हमें दोनों करना है. So that is the point. Okay. So here he said, So not good character Vaishnavas. If some Vaishnavas are there, but they are senior, but they don't have good character. Even if one is a Vaishnava but not of good character, we should give Vaishnava respect, but not associate with them. If one is a senior Vaishnava or a sannyasi, but we are doubtful of his character, we should offer respect, but do not associate with them. Okay. Then sannyasi, regarding your question, how to offer respect to sannyasi, every sannyasi, even if you see a Mayavadi sannyasi, offer him your respects. There will be no harm. As you have observed, we shall follow Lord Chaitanya's instruction that we give all due respect to others regarding their position, but there is no need of always associating with each of them. Even if one is a Vaishnava, but not of good character, we can give him the Vaishnava respect, but we cannot associate with him. So Prabhupada said even Mayavadi, Srila Prabhupada letter to Jayapataka Swami, 30th April 1970. So Prabhupada is teaching all these principles through letter to his disciples. And the disciples used to ask such questions to Srila Prabhupada. You see, Srila Prabhupada was so busy personality, but he was not only taking class, he was teaching his disciples all these finer, small principles from the scriptures. How important it is. So he says that even if the Vaishnava is a Mayavadi, but sannyasi is Mayavadi, we should respect him. We should offer obeisances to him. Mayavadi also. And if somebody is of not good character, then we should not associate with Mayavadi, or we should not associate with such people. We should not take lessons from them. We should not exchange ideas from them, but we should respect them. Even if they are not of good character, we should respect them. Okay? And if you find if somebody is of not good character and he's a Vaishnava, but because of his presence, some problem is happening, then what do we do? He's creating problem. Then what to do? So report to the authorities. Let authorities deal with such situation. You don't deal. You respect. Let authority take decision, action on such people. And sometimes what happens when authority doesn't take action, authority becomes incompetent and pass the buck on others. Then what happens? Then that's why authority is also very important. When such wrong things are happening, authorities should try to address immediately as soon as possible. Otherwise, people see that there is so much damage and nothing is happening, then they start taking law in their own hands. When authority doesn't provide justice, then general public start taking the law in their own hands. That's why authority position is so important. That either he takes action, either he sorts out problem, or he explains to the public why he is not able to do that. What is stopping him to take action? So that public should be clear behind his behavior, the principle behind his behavior, why he is behaving like this. He is supposed to take action. He is supposed to correct the situation, but he is not doing that. Why is not doing that? Then they will start doubting on his character also, authority character also. If the authority protects a person of bad character, then people start doubting on his integrity also. That's why authority position is so difficult. So, and if authority doesn't take action, then he loses his integrity and he loses the trust of his people. He loses his credibility and people will not follow him further, will not accept him authority. Even if he is the authority appointed, he may rule the kingdom, but he will not rule the heart of the people. He has already lost his position. by losing his position in the heart of the people, just by losing his character, losing his integrity, losing his credibility. He has lost his position. Artificially, he may be on the position, he may be a minister, prime minister, chief minister, but he is no more chief minister because people have rejected him from their heart. So authority should be very proactive and taking actions on time. If not, then explains the reason why I am not able to take decision. Otherwise, people will not take him authority. They themselves will become authority and start taking justice, law in their own hands, and they themselves will start doing justice, and that will become very, very, that's called civil war. No? Civil war. When the public takes law in their own hand and start doing justice, and when one civil war starts, then it's fratricidal. It's very difficult to control that situation. You know? So that situation, should not come. That's why leadership is so important, so vital. So when we see someone doing bad behavior, wrong conduct, we should report to the authority. And the authority has no personal life. He has to explain. As soon as possible, he has to clear the doubt of the people. Otherwise, people, when they see so much negligence, the action is not being taken, they become impatient. They become impatient. And then they break the etiquettes. Why people don't follow the etiquettes? आपने कभी सुना होगा डिपोटी को कहते अरे ये सब लेक्चर में ही अच्छा लगता है, ये सब किताबी बातें हैं, ये सब चलता नहीं है प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में. प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में तो कुछ और ही चलता है, आप देखते नहीं हो क्या चल रहा है. That's why ambience is very important, not the book. We are distributing so many books, but we are not creating an ambience. We should focus on creating that ambience where people can come and practice the book. Living Bhagavad, living Gita, where are those people? When they read the book and then come, they see none as an example. None as an example. So वो सोचते हैं अरे यार किताबी बातें हैं यार, एग्जाम्पल तो कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है. That's why it's very, very important. These etiquettes are so important. They are the practical philosophy. So that's why I am taking this session series on etiquettes. And this etiquette series is going on, I think, since last 2-3 years. This one presentation has not finished so far. It keeps on going, and I think I keeps on repeating the same thing again and again. So sannyasi, a brahmachari is supposed to assist a sannyasi. Therefore, a brahmachari should not try to instruct a sannyasi. That is the etiquette. Consequently, Damodar should not have advised Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about his duty. So brahmachari, if there are some brahmachari here, be careful not to instruct a sannyasi. Be very, very careful not to instruct a sannyasi. Then Srila Prabhupada explains sannyasi should be given respectful obeisances. If one does not offer obeisances when one sees a sannyasi first time in the day, one should fast whole day to atone. Sannyasi you saw, he didn't pay obeisances, then whole day you have to fast to atone that mistake. It is explained that even Mayavadi or Sahajya sannyasi should be given respect following Lord Chaitanya's instruction. There is no need of associating with them. So sannyasi has to be given respect. When Lord Chaitanya, hmm, when Lord Chaitanya was in Varanasi, he would respect all sannyasis, but never associated with them. When he met Prakashananda Saraswati standing near the place where they washed feet, he offered obeisances to all of them and sat down there. He is showing by his example, he would not hear from them anything they would say until they called him to hear from him. He had nothing to do with them except offering respect. So he did not accept their philosophy, but he respected them. So if somebody has wrong philosophy, still one thing we should do is that we should respect the person, irrespective of philosophy. Give respect irrespective of their philosophy. Then dealing with the senior Vaishnavas with material defects. Material defects means, Srila Prabhupada said in next of instruction, sloka number 6, it is explained in NOI, one should never see or speak of a Vaishnava according to bodily designation. One should overlook any bodily defect, any deficiency in education. One should not consider a Vaishnava as caste or hair. One should not understand that anyone who is a senior Vaishnava is worshipable as a representative of Lord Krishna. One should understand that anyone who is a senior Vaishnava is worshipable as a representative of Lord Krishna. It is offensive to see a Vaishnava from a materialistic point of view. So what is the materialistic point of view? Materialistic point of view is that we are seeing the deficiency in education. Oh, he is not a BTech Vaishnava. He is not a MTech Vaishnava. He is a poor Vaishnava. He is uneducated Vaishnava. What he can speak? Shut up your mouth. What do you know? Shut up. You are not rich. I am a Brahman Vaishnava. You are a Sudra Vaishnava. I am Indian Vaishnava. You are a Westerner Vaishnava, foreigner Vaishnava. These are all material defects. Somebody may be a material defect. Material defects means he may have failed in his exam, material exam. But he may be a good devotee. He is chanting Hare Krishna. We should respect him. Srila Prabhupada gives analogy of what? Apparently polluted Ganges. It should not hesitate to take bath because of its connection to the lotus feet of Vishnu. जब हम वृंदावन जाते हैं देखते हैं दिल्ली का सारा गंद मलबा जो है जमुना जी में जाता है कि नहीं. हम देखते हैं कि पानी में गंदगी तैर रहा है. स्टिल वी गो एंड पे obeisances to Jamuna ji. Still we go and pay obeisances to Ganga ji. We know that there are so many dirty things getting mixed in the waters of Ganga and Yamuna. Still we do Achaman. Why? Why we do Achaman? Because Shastra says that it doesn't get polluted spiritually. We must pay obeisances. External defects may be there, but because, that's why Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, दृष्टै स्वभाव जनितै वपुषश्च दोषै. वपुषश्च दोषै. वपुष मतलब body. Bodily defects. Some may be, like अष्टावक्र मुनि. अष्टावक्र मुनि थे, 8 जगह से टेढ़े थे वो. उनका शरीर जो है डीप फिगर्ड फ्रॉम 8 प्लेसेस. और जब चलते थे तो ऐसे ऐसे हिलते थे ब्रेक डांस की तरह. और जनक महाराज ने पंडितों की विद्वानों की सभा बुलाई थी. विद्वानों की सभा जहाँ पे प्रकांड प्रकांड विद्वान पूरे देश के वहां पे उपस्थित थे, और सब लोग वेट कर रहे थे कि अष्टावक्र मुनि नहीं आए अभी तक, अष्टावक्र मुनि को आने दीजिए। उसके बाद जब अष्टावक्र मुनि आए तो ऐसे चलने लगे अपना, वो तो ब्रेक चलते ही थे, ऐसे 8 जगह से टेढ़े थे, चलते थे तो ऐसा लगता था। तो लोग आए तो देख के मुस्कुराने लगे, हंसने लगे। तो अष्टावक्र मुनि ने कहा, क्या मैं सही एड्रेस पे आया हूँ? यहीं पे आना था क्या? तो लोगों ने, नहीं नहीं, आप सही जगह आए हैं, हम आपका ही इंतजार कर रहे हैं। बोले, नहीं, मुझे तो नहीं लगता है कि ये वो जगह है जहां मुझे आना था। मुझे तो ये बताया गया था कि यहाँ पे विद्वानों की सभा आयोजित की गई है, जहाँ प्रकांड विद्वान लोग आए हुए हैं। पर यहाँ तो मैं देख रहा हूँ कि कोई विद्वान नहीं है, क्योंकि सब लोग मेरे शरीर को देखकर हंस रहे हैं। उनको इतना भी नहीं पता है कि हम शरीर नहीं हैं, हम आत्मा हैं। शायद मैं गलत जगह पे आ गया। सो दिस इज कॉल्ड बॉडीली डिफेक्ट। वी सी पीपल बॉडीली। ये वैष्णव सुंदर नहीं है, ये वैष्णव बहुत स्मार्ट है, ये वैष्णव अच्छा ड्रेस नहीं पहना है, ये वैष्णव अच्छा ड्रेस पहना है, ये वैष्णव जो है ज्यादा पढ़ा लिखा है, ये अनपढ़ वैष्णव है। चुप रहो, शट अप योर माउथ। व्हाट कैन यू स्पीक, व्हाट डू यू नो? नो, he says that anybody who chants कृष्ण नाम यस्य गिरितम मनसा द्रियेत, जिसकी भी जिह्वा पर कृष्ण का नाम आ गया, उसको मन से आदर दो, हृदय से आदर दो। मनसा द्रियेत। दीक्षा चित प्रणति भजंत मीसम, जिसकी दीक्षा हो गई है उसको दंडवत प्रणाम करके, झुक के प्रणाम करके उसका सम्मान करना चाहिए। और शुश्रूषया भजन विज्ञम अनन्य, जो भजन में विज्ञ हैं, प्रबुद्ध हैं, मैच्योर हो गए हैं, सीनियर डिवोटीज, ऐसे भक्तों को हमें श्रवण करना चाहिए, सुनना चाहिए, उनसे कथा सुननी चाहिए, ताकि हम भी मैच्योर हो सकें। भजन विज्ञम, भजन में जो मैच्योर हो चुके हैं। अनन्य मन्य, अनन्य जिनका अनन्य भाव से भक्ति कर रहे हैं, बिल्कुल एकदम स्ट्रांग फेथ हो गया उनका, अब उनको कोई हिला नहीं सकता भक्ति में, डिगा नहीं सकता भक्ति में। ऐसे व्यक्ति से श्रवण करना चाहिए। और निंदादि शून्य हृदय इप्सित संग लब्ध्वा, सेवा करनी चाहिए ऐसे व्यक्ति की जो भजन में निष्ठ हो चुके हैं। और श्रवण किससे करना चाहिए? उस व्यक्ति से श्रवण करना चाहिए जिसका हृदय निंदा आदि से शून्य हो चुका है, जो कभी किसी की निंदा नहीं करता। निंदा नहीं करता किसी की। तो कोई बोलेगा, प्रभु जी कोई गलत कर रहा है तो क्या करें? छोड़ दें, करने दें? अथॉरिटी को बताइए। और अगर ये अथॉरिटी अगर कोई करेक्शन करता है तो दैट इज नॉट निंदा, दैट इज हिज ड्यूटी, ही हैज टू परफॉर्म हिज ड्यूटी। अगर कोई अथॉरिटी हमको कुछ बोलता है ना, सो वी शुड नॉट कंसिडर इट एज निंदा। लाइक सपोज द टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट अगर आपको करेक्ट करता है ना, और जो मैनेजरियल अथॉरिटीज हैं वो करेक्ट करते हैं, कुछ बात बोलते हैं, वो निंदा में नहीं आएगा। ऑफ कोर्स इफ दे डू in such a way that it should not appear that this is a personal, you know, comment. So authority को भी ऐसे प्रेजेंट करना चाहिए, है ना, कि he should not be so much enthusiastic in finding fault, but he should present it that, you know, that I don't like to find fault, and but what can I do? As authority, I have to do that. Yeah, because that duty has given to me, therefore I am doing that. You know, I have seen many times when I go to my Guru Maharaj, And many times he the GBC also. So sometimes he corrects. And when he corrects, we become very emotional because for us very difficult to accept correction, especially when we become senior. Then our seniors has to think so much, 1,000 times before correcting us. तो कहीं बुरा न मान जाए, कहीं बुरा न मान जाए, कटने न लगे हमसे, है ना? And then they stop correcting us. कि जो थोड़ा बहुत बचा है रिलेशन वो भी कट न जाए, टूट न जाए. So they don't correct us. And then when Maharaj corrected, and I was very emotional, I thought that Maharaj always corrects me only. So then Maharaj said, no, see, Sundar Gopal, I don't have this habit of finding fault. I don't like, but as a guru, as a guide, I have to do it. Otherwise, if I don't correct you, who will correct you? So I told Maharaj also, yes, Maharaj, I am so arrogant that I don't listen anybody else. Only I listen you. And if you also don't correct, then who will correct me? I feel very safe. I feel very secure when I have you, who is always there watching me, you know, and giving me correction. A baby is safe when parents are always watching him, isn't it? All of you are many of you are Gresta devotee here, you know that your baby is safe. Of course, baby doesn't feel that you are doing right thing by correcting them or stopping them, you know. उसको लगता है कि माता पिता उसको क्यों पकड़ रहे हैं, क्यों करेक्ट कर. But when the authorities correct us, then we should understand that there are guardians and we should be very grateful to them. We should be happy about it, like that. You know, otherwise, if we don't be grateful, we don't be happy when authority corrects us, then they will stop correcting us, and that will be very, very dangerous situation. Because उसके बाद अगर आप कुछ भी करोगे, कोई आपको कुछ नहीं बोलेगा, और एक दिन हमारा spiritual life खत्म हो जाएगा. So we should learn as a leader to be happy when we receive correction, and please don't mind, it is very, very difficult. All of you know this, how difficult it is to accept correction when we become leader. It's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Although I have seen many times devotees say, Prabhuji, please tell me if anything now you feel. If you don't guide, then what will happen? But when somebody guides or offers correction, oh, then they start giving justification. They start giving justification. Oh, Prabhuji, I think you have understood me wrongly. No, I didn't mean that. You are not understanding. You know, I think someone has misguided you about me. कोई मेरा चुगली किया है आपके सामने. And you are also listening them and not listening me. You are biased. No. So then the seniors think, oh, whatever little bit relation I have, that also will be spoiled. So they take a back step and then let Maya correct him. Now Maya will take charge and correct. So that stage should not come, and we should make someone we should have in our life who can freely correct us if we are a leader without any hesitation. Freely tell us, Prabhu, why are you doing this? And if you don't have such a person in our life who can freely correct us, then our life, spiritual life, is in danger. Thank you so much. I will stop here. Any question? Anyone can ask. Thank you. Haribol. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you so much for this class, Rosie. It's after a long time that I am getting to hear you, and then I'm very happy today. And I'm sorry, bro. There's some noise which will be coming, and that is not under my control. So, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So, Guruji, I don't have a question. I just wanted to share something because you talked about how relationships in them, it's people who are more important than the project. And sometimes that does not happen. And what we are doing is you mentioned we are actually not preaching, we are actually not preaching philosophy, we are preaching culture. So there was an experience that happened with me. So because a lot of times I've had the fortune of listening this katha of Shivan Saint's dog from you, Shivan the Saint's dog. And like now that so somebody was doing a research into like money and how does money, what role money plays, and I thought that I should participate in that so that the Krishna conscious angle of money also is understood by people. So that researcher asked me. I told her that I am not serving in the temple, but the temple is managing. It's helping me in my finances. So she could not understand that at all. She said to me that in what I know is that every time an individual offers something to an institution, and that then there's an agreement in which you offer something to your employer, and your employer offers you something in return. So how is it that you're not doing anything for them and they are doing it for you? So I cannot understand this economic relationship. So then I told her about this philosophy of Shivananda Saint's dog, which I've heard a lot of times from you, that how even somebody as insignificant as a dog is taken care of by a devotee. So I don't know how much she was able to understand, but I think that is what that is how I understand people more important than project is in that sense that even if they don't like that, they don't measure you in the terms of what you offer back to the institution in the terms of money or service, but your spiritual life is taken care of if there is sincerity on our parts. That is very heart touching, and that is, I think, something that can happen only in Krishna consciousness, nowhere else. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing this. Um, yes, Hardik Prabhu, you have to share something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Done, Dr. I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you very much, Prabhuji, for this, I would say, a very enlightening class, because you shared some very important principles, and most of it, like, principles are something we hear, but so something more on the practical terms, जो आपने केस स्टडीज के साथ में और बहुत डायरेक्ट लाइनर्स भी आपने बताया, वो बहुत हेल्प किया. सो मेरा क्वेश्चन उसी से रिलेटेड था, प्रभु, जो आपने बोला भी था कि हम सब, मैं चाहूँगा कि आप शेयर भी करें अपने ओपिनियन. तो आप बता रहे थे कि पीपल आर मोर इम्पोर्टेंट दैन दी प्रोजेक्ट, एंड सपोजिटली हमने प्रीचिंग भी कर दिया और बहुत सारे लोगों को हमने उनको कन्विंस किया, बट सॉरी, हमने बहुत सारा प्रचार कर दिया, बट उससे कुछ सीनियर्स अगर नाराज हैं तो उसका क्या फ़ायदा, उसके बारे में आप बता रहे थे. तो प्रभु जी, मैं सोच रहा था कि मतलब जैसे मैंने कुछ देखा भी है और मैं इसको सोच भी रहा हूँ कि मान लीजिए कुछ ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट है, कुछ इनिशिएटिव है जो हम कर रहे हैं, और कुछ लोगों को वो पसंद नहीं आ रहा वो आइडिया, बट हम तो मतलब लेट अस टेक इट अपॉन माई सेल्फ, मैं कन्विंस हूँ कि ये प्रोजेक्ट बहुत अच्छा है, अगर इसको किया जाएगा तो बहुत अच्छा होगा. तो इनिशियली मैं और लोग इससे कन्विंस नहीं है, बट मैं उसको कर रहा हूँ अच्छे से, एंड आफ्टर सम टाइम रिजल्ट आता है उससे. तो जब रिजल्ट आता है तो प्रभु जी, ये भी तो पॉसिबिलिटी है कि वो जो सीनियर्स है उनका थोड़ा सा पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज हो सकता है, बिकॉज दे ऑल्सो गेट टू नो, मतलब नाउ दिस, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि हम ज़्यादा इंटेलिजेंट हैं उनसे, बट हो सकता है कि एक अलग पर्सपेक्टिव उनको देखने को मिले जो पहले नहीं देखा हो या पहले नहीं सोचा हो. तो फिर तो मतलब हाउ डू वी बैलेंस दिस आउट, और इसमें कैसे समझें?
ये हो सकता है, बट ये भी हो सकता है कि कुछ पर्सपेक्टिव वो देख रहे हो जो आप नहीं देख रहे हो.
हाँ जी.
ये भी तो हो सकता है ना, because seniors has gone, might be that they have gone through that stage and they know much better so many other perspective also which a person of our age may not notice those perspectives. We may miss sometimes those subtle perspectives, In sometimes young, कहते हैं कि जोश में हम होश खो बैठते हैं कई बार. तो यंग लोगों में बहुत जोश होता है और ओल्ड लोगों में बहुत होश होता है. तो ओल्ड लोग होश से काम करते हैं, यंग लोग जोश से काम करते हैं, है ना. तो दोनों का एक टीम वर्क होना चाहिए, जोश का और होश का, है ना. सो जोश नथिंग रॉन्ग, बट व्हाई कांट वी सिट एंड आस्क द क्वेश्चन and let us hear from them also why they are stopping, and then you put across your point. And of course the senior, they should be mature enough to understand the जोश. भाई यंग एज में इतना जोश होता है व्यक्ति का, और थोड़ा इग्नोरेंस भी होता है. वो सोचता है कि मैं सारे संसार को बदल दूंगा अपने को छोड़कर, ना. तो वो जोश होता ही है ना. तो बट ये मैच्योर सीनियर्स दे अंडरस्टैंड कि ज्यादा इसका बात नहीं सुनूंगा तो फिर ये अपने मन का ही करेगा. इससे बेहतर है कि बढ़िया से आराम से बैठ के सुनो इसको, है ना, और प्रेम से इसको एक समझाऊं, है ना, बुलार के पुचकार के प्रेम से उससे बात करता है. मैच्योरिटी यही है. सीनियर्स जानते हैं कि नहीं बात करेंगे, प्रेम से नहीं समझाएंगे तो बागी हो जाएगा, विद्रोही हो जाएगा, ना. फिर बिल्कुल नहीं सुनेगा. अभी तो थोड़ा बहुत सुन भी रहा है, बाद में वो भी नहीं सुनेगा, ना. So the senior should be mature enough to let people freely express their heart. That is very, very important to the seniors. Not imposing things on the juniors, but doing logical discussion with them. Logical. And that takes time. Like you see Lord Krishna speaking 700 verses just to tell Arjuna, why don't you fight? Isn't it? पहले चैप्टर में ही विश्व रूप दिखाते, बोलते तेरी इतनी मजाल में भगवान हूं, तू मेरी बात नहीं मानेगा. भगवान से बहस करता है तू, है, तेरी इतनी हिम्मत, पहले तेरे को मारूंगा, कौरव को तो बाद में मारूंगा. बट नो, लॉर्ड कृष्णा इज वेरी वेरी हम्बल because he is empathizing with the Arjuna, his condition. He is saying, that I can understand. I can understand your situation. Kindly put your mic off, Neeraj Prabhu. Yeah. So, seniors, why you are asking question, why I am starting with the senior? Leadership, because leadership is the one who has to be very mature to provide a very nice platform of growth for the juniors. Rather than imposing, we have to facilitate discussion. Let us have a discussion. What is your opinion? You say, Prabhuji, I am thinking to go right. Oh, very good. Very good. At least you are thinking. That can be appreciated, isn't it? Otherwise, many people, they don't think at all. But you are thinking, I appreciate you very much. But if you go in right direction, what I feel is that you'll face this problem. And that's why I feel that you should go left. What is your opinion? And we should always, senior should end with this one line. What is your opinion? Always. Let him also. Oh, yes, Prabhuji, I never thought this problem. I could not thought, what you have said. Yes, I think this. I will go left only. So that's what is happening. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says something. Krishna says, why you will do, if you do this, this will happen. Krishna is saying that you are thinking that, you will commit sin by killing them, but I can tell you that you will not commit sin by killing them. Rather, if you don't kill them, then you'll commit sin. And he's explaining logically how it is. Entire second chapter is all about that. That if you don't kill them, you are running away from your duties, and therefore you will commit sin. So he's logically explaining things, not emotionally, fanatically, but logically explaining, discussing. Let us discuss. Why to a person imposes when he fears that he lacks logic, therefore he takes the path of imposition, because he lacks logic behind his actions, behind his points. That's why he takes the path of imposing the things on others. If I am confident that why this should not be done, I will have a discussion and logically I will present my point of view. So that first thing is seniors should be very open to listen, and this is called mental modeling. अपने बच्चे को हमें डांटना नहीं चाहिए, चुप रहो, बल्कि मेंटल मॉडलिंग करना चाहिए, बताना चाहिए क्यों तुमको नहीं बोलना है. If you speak here, why you should not go in this direction, because if you do this will happen, then 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 this will happen, and ultimately this problem will happen to you. Oh, so much. And to explain all this, it may take half an hour. And you want to avoid, save that half an hour and just say one word. Hey, don't do. I'm saying don't do. You don't have trust on me. I am your well-wisher. That's fine. But then the natural feeling is that people think logically. And if they can't see logic in your instruction, very difficult for the majority of us. It's even very, very high level realization is required to just surrender. It's not easy. So that kind of ambience atmosphere is created that people are free feel. And then juniors also can tell their point across that Prabhuji, these are the things I'm doing, I'm thinking. And you also, junior, you should be open. Okay, yes. What is your opinion, Prabhuji? No, I'm thinking like this. So this is always, there should be a dialogue, not my way or your way. Let's work for better way. Isn't it? What is better? So seniors, authority, people in authority position, they should not think my way is highway. They should think neither my way, Prabhu, nor your way. Let us sit together and find out what is better way. So that way we should discuss. Okay.
Thank you. Prabhuji, a small follow-up question to this.
Yes.
So Prabhuji, when we are talking about this thing, since you also mentioned that equals have a very important role to play, so is it that what we are doing should be coherent and in accordance with our seniors, or it should also be with equals and some other seniors also?
Everyone you take idea सुनने में क्या है? If somebody is suggesting something, hear, at least hear from them, and then you can consult with your senior that my equals is suggesting this, Prabhuji. What is your opinion? सत्य तो एक ही होगा ना, और अलग अलग एंगल से आएगा तो मे बी सीनियर सोचेगा कि हाँ ये एंगल मैंने नहीं सोचा था, दिस इज न्यू एंगल कमिंग टू मी, लेट मी थिंक ओवर इट. So like this, always remember it should be dialogue. So mental modeling करने से क्या होता है, डिटेल में डिस्कस करने से बच्चे को भी क्लियर होता है ना, what are the basis of making decision, why my senior, how you make decision, what are the various principles you take care. When you are mental mode, you are speaking, then you are not only giving him guidance, but you are teaching him how to think also. This is very, very important. So seniors should explain in detail the principles behind their decision so that the juniors become very, very mature by hearing from them. Lecture is not sitting in the class, even in the services. In decision making, what are the basis of decision making, how we are making decisions, all can be explained, and by that way the juniors can learn so many things. So similarly, equals also. You can ask, what are your basis, Prabhu? Okay.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. That is a lot of insight.
Yes, Niranjan Prabhu.
कृष्ण प्रभु बहुत प्रणाम तो जी बहुत दिनों बाद आपका क्लास हुआ काफी अच्छा लगा तो जी जितना भी आपने लेक्चर में कवर किया तो ये हम लोग तो क्या है कि जब बच्चे में जुड़ते हैं तो चैंटिंग करते हैं सेवा करते हैं और अथॉरिटी के इंस्ट्रक्शन में सब कुछ करते हैं तो फिर जी जितना भी आपने लेक्चर में किया तो मतलब ये होता क्यों है हमारे साथ मतलब हम तो ऐसा करना चाहते नहीं क्योंकि हमारा तो गोल यही था ना प्रभु जी की कृष्ण प्रेम प्राप्त करना गुरु की सेवा करना मतलब पर ये सब होता क्यों है हमारे साथ तो जी मतलब ये रियल है जो आपने बताया ये होता है और हम फेस करते हैं लाइफ में बट और जब भी प्रीचिंग करते हैं बट तो फिर ये होता ही क्यों है मतलब हम तो एक अच्छे रास्ते पर निकले थे और भगवान को प्राप्त करना चाहते थे गुरु की सेवा करना चाहते थे तो हमारा हमारा गोल तो पूरी बहुत क्लियर था पहले से अच्छा था सब कुछ फिर भी मतलब फिर हमारे साथ हुआ क्यों मतलब ये सब हम हमारे अंदर कोई ऐसी इच्छा भी नहीं थी कि हम पहले से देखते हैं कि मतलब हमने ये पाथ इसलिए चूज किया क्योंकि हम पहले जो काम कर रहे थे वो अच्छा नहीं था हमें लग रहा था कि हाँ और वी आर ऑल इनफ मतलब हमें कि ये हम जो करें वो अच्छा नहीं था और ये पाथ अच्छा है तो हम अच्छे पाथ पर निकल गए तो फिर हम उसी में आगे बढ़ते रहते हैं पर फिर ये सब हमारे साथ क्यों क्यों होता है मतलब बिकॉज ऑफ आवर कर्मास और समथिंग क्या अप्रोच क्यों होता है मतलब ये
Asatsang,
सब
basically. Asatsang. Satsang and asatsang. There's two only reason for all good things and bad things in life. Somewhere we do asatsang, start associating with wrong ideology or wrong people or wrong philosophy, huh? And we start disassociating with the right things. So very, very important to understand that what are our priorities, we have to be very clear. So the only thing is that why we ended up like this, because somewhere we got wrong association. And we have to be very, very careful in letting ideas sink in. Like you see, Maharaj Bharat left everything and went in the forest. He had kingdom entire, he was the king of the whole world. And he left everything and went to the forest. And his only goal was to go back to Godhead. And then when he went there, he got attached to deer. He got attached to deer. Why? Because he was alone. He didn't listen anybody. Good advice. No, there was no one to give him good advice. So that's why we should always keep people. That's why I was saying, keep seniors, equals, good association, not only with juniors. So this kind of hearing, and then go and hear again and again and again and again, and apply these principles. Focus to apply. If we don't focus to apply, कहते भागता घोड़ा घास नहीं खा सकता है कि नहीं, भागे जा रहे हैं भागे जा रहे हैं भागे जा रहे हैं. We should focus on our self development also. How much time am I giving to my self development? I'm giving so much time to improve the others' quality, but how much time do I invest in improving my own consciousness, my own quality of devotion, my own quality of relationship? Am I investing sufficient? And if I not, it's all about hearing. We need to hear serious talks, and then we need to ponder upon daily that how I can bring these principles in my day-to-day life. And generally we hear to speak. I've seen many people, they hear the lecture, the goal is to make notes and go and vomit, speak. That is not the purpose of hearing. Purpose of hearing is to hear and assimilate it in ourselves first. and bring in our own behavior, and then going and speaking will will be very impactful, effective. It will influence others. Otherwise, our words will lose power if we don't practice it ourselves. So we hear, we practice it, and then we preach it. Study, practice, and guide. Become SPG commando.
Thank you so much,
Not
Prabhuji.
SG, not SG commando, but SPG. We bring P. So P, how much emphasis are we giving P? P means I should hear and imbibe these principles. Not easy. It takes a lot of time in the beginning. Developing good habits is very, very important. Even as a leader, we should develop good habits. I should speak very mildly. I should hear attentively. Now I should, whenever you talk to somebody, when you finish your sentence, at the end you add, what is your opinion? This one practice you start and do for 1 week. You'll see, it will create wonders in your life. This is humility actually. This is humility. Trinadapi Sunichan means asking others' opinion also. This is humility. This is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Trinadapi Sunichan means. This is like that. So now we have to go and bring it in practice. मैं प्रभु जी मैं बहुत प्रयास कर रहा हूँ पर हो नहीं रहा है, इसी के लिए तो आया था. क्या प्रयास कर रहे हैं? How much conscious practice? You have to practice deliberately. You have to have some accountability partner who is monitoring you, and he should know what are you trying to develop. And they tell him that I'm trying to develop humility, Prabhu. Kindly watch me whether I'm doing it or not for another 1 week. And then let him hear from him. After 1 week, ask him, Prabhu, kindly tell me, have I improved or not? This is called prayas. If you are not doing like this, means that we are not sufficiently endeavoring. And then हम बोलते हैं, हम तो आए थे, अच्छा सोच कर आए थे, लेकिन कैसे गड़बड़ हो गया, कहाँ गड़बड़ हो गया? हम तो बहुत प्योर हार्ट से आए थे, यहाँ पे आगे कंटामिनेट हो गए. कोई प्योर हार्ट से नहीं आए हैं. हम सब को रियलाइज करना पड़ेगा कि मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में देयर इज डेंजर एट ईच एंड एवरी स्टेप. पदम पदम विपदाम. And therefore, each and every step you have to be very, very careful. And Shastras are teaching it by the example of Bharat Maharaj. Is that clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Nitai Prabhu and then Rameswar Prabhu. Those who has to go, you must be having some service, then you can leave also. I will just answer these two devotees' questions or comments. Yeah. Yes, Nitai Prabhu. Okay, Rameswar Prabhu.
আনমিউট করছে.
Rameswar Prabhu, by the time you speak.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this is a very helpful session and really great to hear. Prabhuji, इसमें एक जो point discuss किया गया था कि जो मायावादी सन्यासी या कोई अदर फिलोसफी फॉलोअर्स, उनके साथ हमें जो नॉलेज एक्सचेंज नहीं करना है. सो एक्सचेंजिंग मीन्स व्हाट, लाइक जैसे एक तो होता है कि उनकी फिलोसफी या उनकी आइडियाज को एक्सेप्ट करना, दैट इज वन थिंग. बट एक है कि एक्सचेंज करने यानी अपनी बात को रखना या उनको सुनना, अपनी बात को रखना. तो क्या ये भी अवॉइड करना चाहिए? जैसे किसी को हम कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस, दो ही इज नॉट बिलीविंग इन इट, बट हम उसको बता रहे हैं व्हाट एग्जैक्टली कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस इज, प्रीचिंग के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, तो क्या ये करना चाहिए हमें?
या प्रीचिंग में तो करना ही पड़ेगा ना. यू हैव टू लिसन देम. If you don't listen, how will you answer? But we listen to understand, and then how we can reflect back.
sometimes we know their philosophy, but just to get some idea how they are doing, ये सभी activities के हम avoid करना चाहिए, कुछ just to see like if they are
Yeah, you have to
maybe
be very strong devotees. If you are a preacher, you have to listen them, to understand. Even to reply, we have to listen first. Otherwise, how will you reply?
yes.
Yeah.
थैंक यू सो मच। वन एक प्रैक्टिकल थोड़ा सा इसमें, जैसे हाँ शुरू में आपने बताया कि हो सकता है कुछ समय से कोई क्लासेस कर रहे हैं और उन क्लासेस में आप मेहनत कर रहे हैं, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, बट जैसे कुछ अदर डिवोटीज हैं एंड दे स्नैचिंग, जो आपने वर्ड यूज किया था, इट्स लाइक कि कुछ ऐसा करके और
Snatching, stealing, sometimes snatching.
कि जो हम प्रिंसिपल
आंखों के
फॉलो कर रहे
सामने
हैं, जो
से
हम
आंखों के सामने से ले जा रहे हैं मतलब स्नैचिंग, और पीछे से ले जा रहे हैं मतलब स्टीलिंग।
सो प्रभु जी, इसमें क्या होता है कि जैसे आईडीसी के कुछ प्रिंसिपल्स हैं जो हम आईडीसी में डिस्कस करते हैं कि लाइक गुरु का प्रमोशन, सेल्फ गुरु का प्रमोशन करना, या अपने ही गुरु को ग्रेड बता के और लोगों को ले जाना, दिस आर रॉन्ग थिंग्स। हम उसको प्रैक्टिकली हम प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, लेकिन ग्रुप में कोई थर्ड पर्सन कोई आता है बाहर से और इन्हीं प्रैक्टिसेस को करके वो लोगों को ले जाता है। और ऐसी सिचुएशन हमारी होती है कि एक वो भी वैष्णव है, उनको बोले तो अपराध, और रोकने पे कहीं ना कहीं रिलेशनशिप डिस्टर्ब होता है। तो ये सिचुएशन समझ में नहीं आता कि फिर कैसे डील करें,
So
क्योंकि
I
एक तो
told
डिस्टर्बेंस।
you, I have already answered this question in my presentation. Can anyone tell what the answer did I give?
अथॉरिटी के पास जाना।
Yes, go to authority, no? And authority must take note and take action. Otherwise, if authority doesn't take action, then people have to take law in their own hands, and then, civil war happens.
थैंक यू सो मच।
Yeah. Okay, Nitai Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad to you and Dhanyavad to all the devotees. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for sharing a very instructive and relevant class. I'm sorry, मैं किसी और का phone use कर रहा था, तो mute button कहाँ था वो, I couldn't find it. So Prabhuji, I very much appreciated all the points, especially 2 points that you shared. One is that we should not just associate with juniors. Sometimes we get used to just being so busy with our preaching activities that we do not associate with equals and seniors. So that is a very relevant point for all of us leaders, because many activities we are doing and majority of our time is going with juniors. So this is a very important point. And the other one, Prabhu, like as you said, that we should understand that ultimately Bhagavad philosophy means culture and living Bhagavad. Means there's no point just teaching philosophy if you're not practicing. I think this is also very relevant for us, who are trying to assist in the preaching. One observation I wanted to share, Prabhu, you mentioned that if you can share,
Yeah.
any challenges. So I think that one challenge that we face as a society is how do we balance, this pressure for growth with proper maintenance of proper nurturing of the devotees. Because I was quite surprised to see that Prabhupada in 1972, only 6 years after the movement, he wrote 2-3 letters that year about boiling the milk. But this is something that this is something I think our institution struggles, because there's in material world there's always this whole idea of disruptive growth. बस grow करो, जैसे 3 साल में $1 billion का valuation लाओ, ये करो, तो ये सब जो material world का जो tendency होता है, we also are affected by that. And then sometimes preachers, they said, or leaders, they set such aggressive targets for everyone that there is no way we can prioritize relationships. There's no way to spend time on self-development, because the benchmarks are so high. So how do we balance all this? Because it all depends ultimately then on the senior leadership.
Yeah, I agree with you. Senior leadership also, and the leadership we should put across our challenges if you are facing in a very humble way to our seniors. And I am very sure the seniors are very considerate. They will listen also. They are quite open. Most of the cases, seniors are very open. Only thing that we should express our concerns in a very, very humble way, in a very, very polite manner. So what I understand, see, your point is so valid. You are talking about the balance. This word is so important. When we talk about growth, let's take example of a plant. To make plant grow, you don't have to do anything. Plant naturally grows. You don't have to pull the plant. You don't have to teach the plant strategic planning, nothing. Plant naturally grows. Just wait for 5 years and plant will be grown, isn't it? Child naturally grows. Just wait for 10 years and child will be grown automatically. Without you doing anything. Growth is natural. It automatically happens. We don't have to plan for it. What we should plan, only thing is that if the child is healthy. If child is healthy, it will automatically grow. If the plant remains healthy, it will automatically grow. So our plan should not be for growth. Our plan should be to keep it healthy. And if we focus on keeping the plant or child healthy, child will automatically grow. Now the question is how to keep health. Health comes by balance. In our body, we have so many systems. When all of the systems work in balance, then we remain healthy. No. But when that imbalance is created, like if you sit in one posture for long hours, then it becomes imbalance. Then that part of the body, develops disease, isn't it? So that's why it is a change positions. So in our Krishna consciousness, I always say, Ram Bhadra Prabhu knows that, 6 S to success. 6 S to success. The first S is Samay, time management. Second S is Swasthya. Third S is Shiksha, education, training. Fourth S is Sadhana, practice. Fifth S is relationship, Sambandha. And sixth is Seva. So when we are making a strategic planning, we should not only plan for Seva, but we should plan for all these 6 things. Our planning should include health care also, time for health, time for sadhana, time for education, time, everything. So you have to see that which part is lacking in your planning, in your schedule. And that you can talk to your authority and then tell that, Prabhuji, what strategy can we make so that we can strengthen our relationship with each other? What strategy? How can we? Suppose you feel that relationship is going down, so we can make some strategy how to develop good relationship. Like in our sannyas college, there was a lot of discussion on this topic. Almost every day we were discussing on this balance. How to make balance, sustainable growth. We don't want to only grow. Sometimes we become happy. We have made 5,000 devotees. We are so happy. But are they devotee? We have to ask this question. Otherwise, it may be that there are 5,000 lust, 5,000 greed, 5,000 anger, 5,000 envy, 5,000 egos are there. And when 5,000 ego will start clashing, can you imagine how much, poison will come out from that Samudra Manthan? And where are Lord Shivas who can take that poison? Do we have that many Lord Shivas who can take that poison and digest that poison? If not, then that poison will burn the entire world. So we must plan for it. There are 5,000 people, they all have lust, anger, greed, envy, pride. They are wearing the dress of the devotees, they are wearing tilak, they are wearing kanthimala, but within their heart they have all these anarthas. And these anarthas, they will come and they will fight with each other here also. And nobody is there to sort out their, their quarrel. And then they will fight more. So someone should be there like Lord Shiva to make them sit and, hear from them. And then give them, thought modeling, how to think. And, every 2 days, 3 days they will fight. And gradually they will learn that counseling, that facilitation, mature devotees has to offer them help. See, if that is not, that also we have to create the facility. If we don't have, then what will happen? After some time, so much quarrel, it will be uncontrollable situation happens. That's why growth has to be very nicely systematic planned. Plan for everything, all balance. We don't give education, training, then people don't know how to behave. And then we have to give them time to practice. We have to monitor them whether are they developing. And few of them who are developing, they only, otherwise they will give so much, headache to us as a leader. Every day they will come with quarrel. Prabhuji, मैं यहाँ आया था शांति के लिए, यहाँ पे इतना झगड़ा हो रहा है, आप तो बोले थे चैंट एंड बी हैप्पी, पर यहाँ हैप्पी तो हो ही नहीं रहा हूँ मैं, आप तो बेकार का बोल रहे थे, सब झूठ बोल रहे थे. तो वो सब सिचुएशन आता है. So your point is very valid. So we should have a balanced strategic planning, balance for everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for taking different angles in the devotional service. आपने बहुत एंगल को टच किया. Somehow we are able to cater some points. मैंने कुछ डिस्कशन शुरू किया, हम इसके ऊपर थोड़ा और सोचेंगे.
Ramabhadra Prabhu is the Sargrahi Vaishnava. He is like a Hans, and he takes good things and ignores bad things. So many bad things must be there, but he ignores that and he will tell you what is good thing.
Nothing for bad, Prabhu. Somehow we are not that much spiritually advanced or intelligent to gather everything. So thank you for your always giving different vision, wonderful, your spiritual mature thoughts to eradicate leaders' ignorance is very important. And you hit the points, hitting on the bullets, kya bolte hain? Bird's eyes. So thank you so much for always enlightening and smashing our ignorance. Thank you, Prabhuji. And we need your association every month. All devotee wants that this class should go on monthly basis, offline, online. So please give your time. We really need association. Otherwise, we'll fight and eat and sleep and fall. So let's chant Hare Krishna. Please unmute yourself. Let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for this wonderful session. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.